Reparations. They're thought of as compensation for abuse or injury. And I, on behalf of all of you out there listening, right here, right now, demand reparations from the Coronatarians. Y'all with me? Here's my case. For those of you who stated, like Kamala Harris, that you wouldn't take the vaccine because it was brought under the Trump administration and then demanded that we inject ourselves with it nearly immediately when you came into power, I want reparations. For locking down small businesses while you let Walmart, Costco, and Amazon stay open, robbing all of those small entrepreneurs of the customers that took them years to generate, to deprive them of their livelihood in what could not have been, of course, collusion with big Wall Street firms. You're damn right. We all want reparations. For forcing children to mask and ruining their childhood, for them not being able to pick up on facial cues, and for the learning losses, yeah, we all want reparations. For turning planes around, such as this one, back to their original departure airport, wasting everybody's time and the fuel and the increase in global warming because of it. All because a mother, like I'm about to show you, is having problems masking her 3-year-old.
Come here, baby. Come here.
We are all owed reparations. The airline shareholders, in all likelihood, included, for keeping kids out of school for almost 2 years in some locations, for the time lost, for the learning that they will never get back. Oh, reparations, my friends, are due. For filling skate parks with sand, for removing the rims off of basketball hoops on public courts and arresting paddleboarders 100 meters offshore, forcing everybody to stay inside where coronavirus could not possibly be transmitted as opposed to being far apart on the ocean. You pieces of shit owe us all. For deteriorating our military and our readiness, demanding that military members who taxpayers funded millions of dollars to help train, like for example, fighter pilots, and then firing them when they had questions and didn't want to take a vaccine they weren't sure about. You owe the American taxpayer. For mirroring exactly what communist China did and bringing their theories on how to handle this into the free nation of America, thinking that you guys are so smart, y'all should be fired from your jobs, which I pray to God happens in the elections on Tuesday. For calling people racist and conspiracy theorists who dared to conjecture that maybe, just maybe, the virus, hey, it might have emanated from the Wuhan laboratory where it was being studied, and you know, it's so coincidental that the virus sprung from there, as opposed to your preferred theory that it sprung from the wet market located nearby. Y'all need to be excommunicated from polite society because your claim that you are our betters is false. What you in fact are a bunch of narcissistic, authoritarian, intellectual wannabes. And for all the medical professionals and politicos who called the patriots in Michigan medical terrorists for daring to demonstrate in front of the Capitol for their rights, stating that they put everybody at risk by congregating together, maybe 30 people, and then encouraging Black Lives Matter to congregate by the thousands as they demonstrated and riots. We demand that you turn in your medical licenses. And for the politicals, y'all need to face charges of treason against our Constitution for coercing the public and attempting to get companies to fire anybody who didn't take a vaccine that doesn't prevent transmission, which, by the way, you promised, that doesn't prevent you from getting it, which also was stated. Oh, geez, 0 for 2 there. But, you're holding on to the fact that maybe, just maybe, it prevents a more serious form of the disease. And this is the propaganda that you're currently peddling. Let's see how the medical literature bears out on that in the future. But for those of you who are mandating it, we are all owed reparations. And for each and every child and young person who died of a heart attack because they were coerced to take this drug, mandated to attend school or athletic events, I want at least one of the people responsible for this mandate to give up your passports and move immediately to North Korea, where your authoritarian methods would be applauded. Except that in this case, you won't be the one making the rules. And for all the politicians that use COVID as a cynical ploy to enact changes to our voting system, to make it easier to cheat in our election by adding many more moving parts, for example, mail-in ballots. You did this intentionally for your own benefit. Please turn in your passport and head back to your masters in China. And for the distress, the abuse, the alcoholism in families that your policies fomented, I want these decision makers to visit the graves of at least 3 people who committed suicide over the last 2 years and acknowledge your wrongs. And for having given the companies of Pfizer and Moderna a forced and captive market, using our tax dollars to pay for this poison that you call a medicine and claim that it is given for free, and then immunizing them for their actions. This fascistic alignment of corporation and state deserves the company coffers to be raided and all the politicals on their payrolls, when it is unearthed, to be sent to the gallows. And for all the people who were involved with these decisions after it became clear that they were not working, deserve scorn, ridicule, prison time, and fines. I want reparations. So empty out your bank accounts and start at least trying to make things right for all the lives that you so cynically destroyed.